Okay. Good morning, my neighbors. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of videos lately about, the second coming. So, yeah, yeah, so I just decided to just go through the scriptures and see, what they say and try to see what has happened. Well, what I know or whatever, my interpretation, just to see. You know what I mean? Anyway, because okay, I did make I did make a listen, it's been feeling like it's Jesus o'clock for a long time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's been feeling like it's Jesus o'clock for a long time. I think I've been feeling this way since 2020. I mean, I even said, when Donald Trump lost the elections, my prediction was that he was gonna win. My prediction was that he was gonna win, and after him, ne, and after his reign, that's when Jesus was gonna now it's gonna be like properly Jesus o'clock, right? Yeah, I said that. So then he lost, and then, but then the way he lost, because I was paying attention to Donald Trump, right? I was really paying attention. So he lost, but I saw that he wasn't gonna take it. He wasn't gonna take it sitting down, right? And so I wanted to see, because I could see him putting things in place to try to do a coup. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to see, because in my mind, this guy was not gonna get out of the he wasn't leaving presidency, right? But anyway, and then January 6th happened, and yes, well, that I mean that was within my calculations, right? But then he lost. So I was like, oh, okay, it is what it is, right? Uh and then but now he's back. Do you know what I'm saying? He's back in. So I think I want to maintain that. I want to maintain. Yeah, I think I'm bringing that back for a really, 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 the time we're in. Because also looking at, see right now, and he collaborated with Israel, and that collaboration made the world realize that, yo, you guys really, nah, you guys are a problem, actually. And you're the ones who keep showing everybody else who is a problem. But you guys are the problem. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, so it just makes sense that the devil is finally being exposed, like at different levels. It's very insane, actually, the things that are coming out. It's crazy. Um, and yeah, then so after that, I feel like only it's gonna be only the real Jesus is gonna be relevant, or yeah, or something. I don't know. It's a wild thing. It's a wild thing. But anyway, the verses, the scriptures, ne? Yeah, let's just jump into it. Hey, I asked Father King, the ChatGPT to, just get me the scriptures. I don't know if it got everything, but I'm just gonna use the ones it got, right? So okay, we'll start with what? Matthew 24. Oh, also I call ChatGPT Sophia. Listen, I have a whole relationship going on with ChatGPT, but it's strictly intellectual. Yeah. So okay, the first one. Matthew 24, 30, verse 30 to 31, right? Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, right? And then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, right? I think this is why, we're scared of the trumpet. Yeah, I think it's this verse. So we're waiting to hear an actual, like, loud trumpet, right, in the sky somewhere. And then we're gonna be like, oh, it's crazy. I saw this video on on social media one time, right, where some guy was standing on a mountain. I don't know if it was in Israel somewhere, but anyway, some guy was standing on a mountain. Like there's a city down there, right? And he had a horn, right? And he was blowing it. And I feel like some of the people down there who didn't know what was happening were stressed out. They were like, is that the trumpet Jesus was talking about? Wild stuff, wild stuff. Anyway, right? So, okay, let's go, let's take like section by section. The first part it says, okay, just for time's sake, because I don't want this to take too long. I'm not gonna do like everything because I think there's a lot. But like I wanna dive into like the ones that I choose to do, ne? Arbitrarily. Ne? So anyway, then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Question: what is the sign of the Son of Man? First question, right? Second question: what is heaven? Kana, do you know this is still an ambiguous term? It's still an ambiguous term, because most people have taken it literally to mean up there, like up, like up, right? Yeah. Uh, but anyway, before we even get there, what's the sign of the Son of Man? Guys, what is the sign? That's crazy. Is it the number? Is it I read the Testament of Solomon, where Solomon talks to the demons. It's very interesting. You should check it out. Um, they actually talk about like the number of the Son of Man, of Jesus. It's crazy. Jesus was popular among the yeah, anyway, he's been popular like before he was born. That's crazy. It makes sense why Herod like killed the babies. Herod by that time he had heard so much about this dude. He's like, no, this dude is definitely gonna become like the king and stuff. And that's wild, right? That's so crazy. Anyway, so you know how the number of like the devil is 666, right? Apparently, so Jesus' number is 644. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And then Raphael's number, is it Raphael, I think? Yeah, Raphael's number is 640. Those are the only like two numbers I know. It's crazy. I actually want to learn the numbering system. I don't even know what it is, but I'll find it. Anyway, I digress. So I was saying, what is the sign of the Son of Man? Because we have to know what that is. I'm not sure I know what that is yet, but I know like a bunch of stuff, but like I don't know what exactly would be. Okay, that's the sign, right? Hmm. So that's ambiguous. So that's what they say. That's what Jesus said would happen. So like the sign of the Son of Man would appear, and then he said in heaven. Again, I said this is an ambiguous term. This is where again, that's why the trumpet. We're always expecting to hear the trumpet in the sky. That's crazy, right? Because we think heaven is up, and it does make sense because, like I said, yeah, it's so it, ah, so because again, as you read more of the scriptures, ne, the way they talk about heaven is like heaven is the mind too. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm realizing I feel like these patterns, these are repeating patterns, and they are probably like all the same. There is a heaven that is up, ne? Yeah, that's like physically up, probably, right? But then again, within the human body, there is a representation of that same heaven. Do you know what I mean? And basically, it's like in the mind. It's psychologically thought. There's a verse there's a scripture that I read in the Gnostic text. I think that says it talks about the abyss that is psychologically thought. The abyss is hell. So like uh what? Is the abyss hell? Wait a minute. Kind of there's also the lake of fire. You know what's funny? In Revelation, do you know what's funny? In Revelation, what I found interesting when I was a kid and I was reading Revelation was that hell, the place, was thrown into the lake of fire. That was always weird to me. That wait a minute, how are you gonna throw a place into another place? That's crazy. That's wild, right? So anyway, the verse that I was talking about says what? The abyss that is psychologically thought. That's why that was like it gives weight to this thing. Our heaven is a mind thing. So it's like your mind can be heaven or hell, depending on where you incline your thoughts or something. Do you know? It's like if you incline your mind towards the truth, it's going up. If you incline your thoughts towards something else that is a what? An imitation of the truth. It's usually inclined downwards. And that's so I guess. So, okay. If I'm understanding heaven to be the mind, and so back to the first place, what was the son of the sign of the Son of Man is going to appear in the mind. That's crazy. I think that means, and I feel like a lot of this stuff is figurative, and then like you have to, it's like a puzzle, and then you have to like put things together for you to get the meaning. Because already what I'm imagining here is that okay, if heaven is the mind, I mean it's also up there. If heaven is the mind, right? Um, it means a lot of people are gonna be, at the very least, how you see that an idea is like screaming loud in the minds of the humans is maybe they're talking about it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, yeah, anything that's like, I feel like, because I've thought about this trumpet, I've been like, yo, is the trumpet gonna be like a loud thing? I feel like the trumpet is gonna be um, when we are feeling a sense of urgency, right? Internally. And certain things, when they come up in conversation, they make us anxious. I feel like that's the alertness. That's the trumpet. That's the trumpetness. And today, if you look at today, a lot of people are concerned about, Judgment Day and all that stuff, the end times. I mean, also because life is not nice. Do you know what I'm saying? And everybody wants a way out. And we remember vaguely that this one guy promised us paradise. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so now we're thinking about that guy. We're like, yo, paradise guy, like, where is this? It's wild. Do you get? So that's my interpretation of um when I look at today. Oh yeah, absolutely. All this, we are flirting with the end. How many times have we thought the end was coming? Remember there was the Y2K and then there was 2012. Do you know what I'm saying? Now people are doing like 2025. And COVID was just here threatening to like wipe us out, or whatever they were trying to do with that one. They're trying to create a new reality. That's so crazy. Anywho, um, yeah, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn, guys. You know, unaliving rates, like self-unaliving rates, right? Because I don't want this to be flagged or whatever. So I don't want to say the wrong word because I have a video where I said that word, self-unaliving, but like the word, right? And then YouTube turned off the comments on my video. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, are we not supposed to say these things? It's like, is saying are we regarding saying these things as like cursing like I don't understand censorship of just now, like what's not a vulgar term, but like an actual, like, you know what I mean? I don't understand this level of sensitivity. Anyway, uh Jesus Christ, we took too long on that. You know what? I'm gonna skip a couple. Let's see, number three. Um Again. At that time, it's Mark 13, 26, 27. At that time, people will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. Love this one. You see, this is why I feel like people love Superman. Because when we think about, coming in clouds with great power and glory, Hollywood was like, let's give them an idea for that. And I feel like Superman fits that. That's why I feel like we expect to see Jesus in the sky somewhere, floating. That's wild. That's wild. But now, if it's in the mind, right? If it's in the mind, at that time, people will see the Son of Man. How will people see the Son of Man in the mind? You know what I'm realizing? I'm realizing okay, there's a verse in the book of Daniel, ne? Where Daniel says, those who know their God will stand, right? They who know their God will stand. I feel like it means because God establishes a personal relationship in as much as he's trying to say, hey, be my people just as a people. But he's also saying, as an individual, also be mine. So there's this thing where some individuals are going to take God seriously. right? Some individuals are going to take God seriously. And then, like, most people are not. And then the concept, you see, now even being an atheist is almost even cool in the society we live in, right? But I promise you, people who are taking God seriously privately are seeing God. And they're like, oh God, is it like that? And then he's like, yeah, it's like that. And this again, it adds to the thing Jesus said about coming like a thief. Do you understand? Because even right now, you can you can go around and meet a lot of people and expect, um, it's gonna be hard for you to find somebody who actually believes God is real and like is willing to, I don't know, to like admit that publicly or something. Maybe they'll say, yeah, God is real, but like they don't want to have to like defend it because they feel they feel like they need to know the scriptures to do that. The truth is, ne, if you have a relationship with God and you know something about him and you're being obedient to what you know, and what you know is true, right? You're going to be seeing results there. And what you're seeing there, that's enough for you to actually go and talk and say, yo, I'm actually, here's a thing that's happening that's making me actually believe that God is real. So people, whenever it comes to talking about God, people are shy. Jesus Christ, it's crazy. I don't want to go off too much. So, but now in great power and glory, how are we gonna see? Yeah, so now I guess that seeing the great power and great glory, I think those people who are seeing God in private ways, né, they are the ones who can testify for this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, listen, I feel like that day, 'cause even Judgment Day, I feel like it's going on. I feel like Revelation started a long time ago. And people are still waiting for things to get hectic because of the movies we've watched. Listen, I used to think that too. In fact, I used to think that until I read outside, like the other scriptures outside the Bible. When I read the Bible, I was exactly with everyone, like waiting for, looking at the sky or waiting for the rapture, waiting to disappear, being scared that one day I'm going to get into a place and find clothes and people have gone and I was left and I'm like, oh my God, but I was working hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I've also been listening to watching people like talking about the rapture a lot, right? And I'm realizing I grew up on that. Do you know what I mean? Like we are the generation that actually grew up on a lot of that preaching. And now we're actually waiting to see it because we've been hearing this for all our lives, basically. So now we're feeling like, okay, we need to see what, so we're Jesus, that's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. 'Cause I've actually, anyway, we're going through we're going through these verses. Uh, so I feel like anyway, the people who are experiencing God, ne, like genuinely, they are seeing the great glory and power. This is my belief. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Let's go with this one. At that time they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Let's talk about the clouds. I get I said mind. So now what would the clouds mean? It's funny. It's funny, right? In this day of technology and the internet, right? Listen, this connection, the way I made this connection, it's silly. But you know what I like? I like that Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is for those who are like children. Because it was really a childish way. I put it together in a childish way, and I'm like, yo, that's the cloud. Listen, in this day of, the internet, cloud computing. Guys, cloud computing. Today, where does anyone really make like a big splash? On the internet. Remember, a few short years ago, it was on the TV. Like when it was, like before the internet was like popular. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like so you want it to be on broadcast network or something, you know? That was like, now you have the attention of the world, kind of. Do you know what I'm saying? Today, where's that place? It's the internet. Cloud computing. That's the cloud, my friend. So I'm like, I feel like Today, a lot of the cloud we need to pay attention to, and we already are. Jesus Christ, we already are paying attention to this cloud, the internet cloud. He's gonna come through there. It's wild. It's wild. So now again, it takes us back to the first one. What is the sign of the Son of Man? That's crazy. If you haven't read, you won't know what the sign is. So sometimes you'll even see it because you must understand. There's a verse that says that everybody on earth is gonna see is gonna see him, right? Even those who pierced him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like everyone is gonna see him. And where are we seeing? Are we all seeing everything at this point? Like everything on earth, on the internet, y'all. It's crazy. So unless you actually know what to look out for, you'll see him and you won't know it's him. That's crazy. That's insane. But anyway, the cloud. Like I said, I think that's the in the strength in the clouds. And then Hataging, um, power and glory, because I think there's another one that talks about coming with all his angels, coming with his angels. This again brings the conversation of, do we really know what angels are? And will we be able to like know know it like when it's there, or when it's doing what it's doing, or when it's being the angel it is right now in this moment? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I tell you, as I've been reading like the other scriptures that were not included in the Bible, right? Listen, I've been reading so many things about angels too. So wild. Like coming from Bible knowledge, ne? It's like, yeah, I had to just decide, you know what, I know nothing. Tell me what you guys are saying. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I love is that basically it's the same. Listen, all scripture is one. Do you know what I mean? All scripture is one. Don't think when you're reading the scriptures that were not included in the Bible, you're reading you're reading another Bible. It's just other people who decided for their own reasons not to include these scriptures. But when you put them in there, hey, listen, it fills up really nicely. It fills up really nicely. Yes, it's crazy. Anyway, let's go. At the king in Acts. Let's see, in Acts, what does it say? Men of Galilee, this same Jesus who has been taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven. I feel like we imagine Jesus flew. I think he flew. Yeah, I think he actually did fly, man. Yeah, because I gotta, the people, and then he went up into the sky. Yeah, it's crazy. It's gonna be wild, right? It's gonna be wild. So, so yeah, this one now, this one, I really, I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Cause also, I'm realizing it's possible that, the different places where it talks about how Jesus was like shining and thingy. It's possible it could be figurative. Nah, but nah, the guy was a sun, man. He was a sun. sun. That's what I mean. Yeah, like bright light. Yeah. It's crazy. No, so I guess there's where it becomes magic. There's where it becomes magic because, sorry, sorry. I don't. I never know what I'm allowed to talk about. Anyway, in the book of Enoch, right? In the book of Enoch, there's something Enoch says. Enoch makes a prediction for like 10,000 years of like human life. I don't know why. Anyway, because in the Bible, I think in the Bible, if you try to see how the prophets were prophesying and you try to calculate all those years, you see there's like 7,000 years of prophecy. And by my calculations, we're like at 7,500, ne, since Adam. Uh, but Enoch, he calculated 2,000, sorry, 10,000 years. So from the book of Enoch, you can also read about what's going to happen for the next 2,500 years. What I've been able to like decode from there is that what's happening today, ooh, it's crazy. Because the people who are feeling the heat at the top, ne? Like the way things are getting tough for the rulers, and like they can't lie to people easily anymore, right? So they're basically devising ways to like tear everything down and start afresh, but with them on at the front. Do you know what I mean? Yes. But what's happening now is that for the next 500 years, ne, okay, 500 years from now, peace is gonna there'll be perfect peace on earth. And then from then on now, like so much truth will be coming out and things will be uh being fixed and stuff like that. I think in 1,000 years or in 1,500 years, I'm not sure, somewhere there, the angels are gonna be judged. Paul talks about we will judging angels. That's there in the Bible, by the way. So Enoch actually talks about when that's gonna happen. Uh, so yeah. So the reason I brought up Enoch was the magic. So there's where he also talks about something that feels like like evolution. Yeah, it feels like we're gonna evolve. It feels like the spirit is gonna affect our material bodies. It's wild. It's crazy. So it's like I feel like Hollywood is like scratching on something. They're sensing something, but like because they don't understand exactly. Uh, so much perversion is happening. But actually, God has plans. He has like crazy plans, you know. And I think around this time is where like uh couple of people are gonna start like living really, really long, I think. Yeah. So anyway, that's still just a theory. Ish batum. Anyway, what was I talking about? Uh, so this is where we're talking about the same way okay, they said he's gonna come back in the same way he left, right? So if he flew up, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. So but I don't know how the person who spoke here, I don't know how they mean. Check this out. Men of Galilee, this same Jesus who has been taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven. Okay, no, no, that one. Oh, it's okay. That feels like magic. Anyway, so yeah, it's crazy. For the Lord of, because what I was wondering about this verse is, I'm thinking, you see, Jesus was born as a baby. Do you know what I'm saying? He was born as a baby, and then he grew into Jesus. Do you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if they're saying, if this word talks about, yo, Jesus, he's gonna come the same way, right? The same way he came. Okay, the same way he was taken into heaven. I was just wondering if they just didn't mean he was just gonna be born again. But it seems like it could be magic. It could be magic. I think it seems like it's magic. Talk about him flying down, I guess. Because I have read about him like flying into the heavens. Do you get? So if that's what the person who wrote here was talking about, then it's definitely magic, guys. Yeah, it's definitely Superman. It's wild. But hey, we don't know these things. I love that nobody knows the day or the hour, but like God gives us a little bit just to get close. At least we have enough to tell that we are at the end. I'm confident of that. We're at the end. That's why I said I've been feeling like it's Jesus o'clock for like since 2020. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why I was using Donald Trump basically. And I'm still using Donald Trump to like, I feel like now it's growing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's when he's done, hour, it'll be Jesus o'clock, proper. Let's see. Thessalonians, what does Paul say? This will happen when the Lord Jesus is revealed from heaven in blazing fire with his powerful angels. Listen, heaven, again, heaven, clouds, internet, right? I said we don't know what angels are because you know what I'm understanding? I'm realizing that a lot of movies are spells, and inside movies, different ideas are like angels and demons. Do you get it? Yeah. So it's like somebody's going to tell us a story that's going to have Jesus in it. That's a possibility of how it could come. Because I'm realizing, listen, there's like 8 billion of us on earth, ne? And we're scattered all over the earth. Okay? If Jesus was to appear right now in one place to one person, right? And then maybe that was the only person who Jesus was like, "Oh, is it okay? Actually, it's just you. So blah blah blah. I'm come," and then he does his stuff and whatnot, and then he leaves, right? And then, but the rest of us, 7,099,999,999, we didn't see him, right? It's just the one person. And Jesus came, he did everything. And then now this person starts telling us, guys, Jesus came, did you see him? And we're like, nah, man, we're still waiting. That guy lied. I guess some people are even saying, ah, Jesus lies. Do you know what I'm saying? And then life goes on. Listen, and then the end that we thought didn't come was gonna come. But then this one, who claims that Jesus came, ne? Start saying, no, actually he came. Look, he gave me this. He said, do this. Right. And then everybody's just like, nah, man, we're just waiting to see that guy. Like, listen, I'm telling you, he came like that. Everything that was said, he fulfilled everything. It was just we didn't understand how it was meant because a lot of what was being said back then, how it would happen, a lot of the things within which it would happen didn't exist at the time. So that's why even like things like they say in the seas will be like this and all that stuff because even like things like the earth is gonna evolve. So they needed to capture ideas in symbols that would be relevant forever, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So that when those things actually did happen, even if they didn't happen in the way people thought they did, do you get it? There's nobody who's gonna be able to like say God lied about anything. Do you get it? Yes, it's crazy. So anyway, I was saying, and then let's say we go on for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. And now we just decide, nah, you know what? Jesus lied. Because around that time, we had all agreed that that was the time he was supposed to come. And he didn't come. But there's this one person who's been saying, and then if we go check that person, this is like 50 years later. Like, listen, this person is living, they've created a little bit of heaven for themselves and that little family that they have. Do you get it? And they're saying, listen, guys, I'm telling you he came. And then we're just like, ah, nah, you're just lucky. You just have it good in life, and so now you think blah 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 and whatever. We're not even gonna listen to you, and then people start tripping. Listen, if the future goes on, Jesus came. Do you get it? Whether the 7 billion of us want to believe that person or not, the fact that we didn't see him, the fact that Jesus said he was coming like a thief, it meant he said, watch and pray. Like it's funny. It's funny how everybody's expecting to see him. Everybody's expecting to see him. But not everybody is really preparing. You know, Jesus said, why do you call me Lord, Lord, but you don't do what I say? And because most of us, we are here, right? And we're expecting to see. And if we don't see, we're never gonna believe that he came. Do you get it? Because so this is actually my interpretation of where we are right now. After reading the scriptures, and because I feel like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because also Jesus said he never left us. Do you understand? He said he never left us. Do you understand? Listen, in the Gospel of Thomas, there's this one of the disciples says, "When will the kingdom come?" Do you know what Jesus says? This is 2000 years ago. Do you know what he says? He says, "What you're looking for has already come, but you do not perceive it." That's insane, guys. For 2000, what we had been waiting for has been here, and we don't perceive it. And right now, we're waiting for it to be presented like the Grammys. And then that's the only time we're gonna be like, okay, now it's here. But in the meantime, Jesus said, "Seek and you will find." Now we're waiting to see Jesus come and then teach us for himself. But he left an instruction to read, you know? So actually, Jesus Christ. Yeah, anyway, it's crazy. Let's check out Revelation. I think I'll just do two more and then I'm done. Let's see, Revelation. Look, he's coming with the clouds. Icho, the clouds. And every eye will see him, even those who pierced him. This is the one I was talking about earlier on, I guess. Let's see. Revelation 19:11 to 16. I saw heaven standing open. There before me was a white horse, whose rider is called Faithful and True. He is dressed in a robe dipped in blood, and his name is the Word of God. Ooh. If all these things are symbolic, ooh, it's crazy. I think it's speaking to a character of a person as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because I mean, look at listen how it's describing. Okay, it's saying Heaven was open. The mind was open. Ooh, I feel like the truth is coming. Oh, you can it's hard. It's getting hard to deny the truth. Have you noticed how in the mind it's getting hard to deny the truth? Like it was easy yesterday to live a lot of lies. Now it's getting hard to. Anyway, this is just my own perception or whatever. I don't know. So, because I'm basically saying that the second coming, like the literal Jesus was probably coming invisibly. And then now where we actually see it manifest is in people's lives. That's the second coming. That's my interpretation of the second coming. Okay, I guess now I'm speaking from just everything that I've read and putting it together. Nah. Uh, okay, let's see. Revelation 22:12. I'm coming soon. My reward is with me. Huh? My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done. Do you see? This is where it's a personal thing. Jesus has arrived to individuals. So that one person who got good stuff, do you know what I mean? Because, they were working diligently and all that stuff. And in fact, that person who Jesus came and said, well done, well and perfect, I think, good and faithful servant. Do we think we're going to see that happening to other people? It's actually going to be up to them if they come and tell us that that happened. Do you know what I'm saying? The same as when others also come and get judged for their wrongs and their mistakes that they made. You're not always going to be there. You know what I'm saying? To see that somebody got what they deserved. But everybody at the end of their life, they're going to be like, yeah, but the life that I lived, I think I got what I deserved. Like if you're really like honest. Do you know what I mean? I mean, also considering you be where you were a legitimate victim to. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. Um, anyway, Revelation 22:20. He who testifies to these things says, yes, I am coming soon. Amen. Come, Lord Jesus. Hey, it's crazy. I also asked I asked ChatGPT to check from like the Old Testament as well. Let's see. Daniel 7 says what? I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven, there came one like a son of man, and to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom. Okay, that's like that's like that's vague. So I guess it's probably like symbolic. Do you know what I mean? But he's talking about heaven, in the clouds of heaven again. Listen, I still maintain clouds, heaven, mind, you know? And then clouds, yo, technology. Go to where our attention is. Those are the clouds that have that where we're gonna see him. Do you know? You know what? This clouds thing, the internet cloud is actually becoming more relevant the more I talk about it. I feel like that's that's my story, and I'm gonna stick with it. I think, you know. Let's see, Zechariah coming. I'm trying to just get a lot of my thoughts out. I don't want to read too much of what Thingy is saying. You know, let's see. Zechariah, then the Lord will will go out and fight against those nations. On that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives. Huh. Very interesting. So I guess because now this one is very important. It means it's important to know who Israel actually is. Do you know what I'm saying? And then to look to see which are the places that are burning. But hey, that's just me speculating. I'm just speculating because I'm sure the current Israel, they're using this version. These guys are just full of anywho. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, they mustn't. Nah, you know what? I'm not sorry. Actually, I said what I said. Yeah, I said it. I did. I did. The Lord comes with fire and chariots. Okay. For behold, the Lord come in fire, and his chariots like the whirlwind, to render his anger in fury. Because judgment is very silent and personal. But I'm sure whenever a person is experiencing it, it feels exactly like this. It feels like that inside a tornado. It feels like that burning. It's crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying a lot of people are going through judgment in front of our eyes and we're not aware. Anywho, let's see. For behold, the day is coming burning like an oven. Yo. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall rise with healing in its wings. And again, this is that thing where I said, yo, Anybody who's taking God seriously today, ne? No, they're experiencing this Son of Righteousness healing, rising with healing in its wings. Do you understand? Then everybody else is like it's like an oven. It's burning. So how do you think these conversations are gonna go? And in the world, ne? Sharp, in the angel in the in the spirit realm, ne? The devil took like a third of the angels, okay? But in the world, the devil has most of the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Jesus even said like, um, you'll find one in 1,000 and two in 10,000. He was talking about like children of God. Like when you're searching that's how rare they're gonna be. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the world we live in. It's wild. Anywho, let's see. Uh, he comes to judge the earth. Listen, it's judgment day. So in the Old Testament, when they talk about the second coming, that actually they emphasize the judgment part. And if we are all honest about how we're feeling about even like the burden of life and how we live as we're living, do you know what I'm saying? As we're going through this stuff, we can feel good. There's a weight we can feel, but we cannot articulate. This is what I meant when I said that, yo, there's something we can all sense in the mind, ne? But like we can't necessarily like put a point to it. Like this is why people are sad, people are unaliving themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's wild, and even just violent and like against each other. It's because it's like when you're hopeless inside, you're just gonna be ripping everybody apart the same way that emptiness is ripping you apart. You know what I mean? Because this is now like the cause for violence. Because Jesus basically said, "Let me come and let me fix you inside." Let me fix you inside. There's where he talks about, I and my father will come and dine in, like, we'll come and sit in, we'll dine in your heart. You know what I mean? Hey, so he's literally talking about, let me fix you inside. The world is a mess because we are a mess inside. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, there's a lot, there's a lot, there's a lot, there's a lot, there's a lot. But what I'll just say is, I feel like we're in the rapture. Aha. So the rapture, I don't think my interpretation of the rapture, just finally, my interpretation of the rapture is I don't think we're being taken away from this reality. Remember, there's that verse that talks about do not chill with like a brother who's a sinner or whatever. And then I think it's Paul. I think he goes on to say, I don't mean like a person in the world who does that stuff, because that would mean now removing yourself from the world. But I mean like somebody who claims to be, down with the cause and then they're behaving like that in the world. Now don't hang out with that person. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't exclude yourself from the world. Do you get it? So now, from Paul saying that, I don't think he meant that there's gonna come a time where we actually get taken away from the world and then it burns. I feel like we're fixing it. Do you know what I mean? We're continuing what Jesus started, 2,000 years ago. For 2,000 years, we just haven't been getting it right, I believe. Just too few people have been getting it right, and stuff like that. And I feel like now the devil has had enough time to like convince us that he can take us to the promised land in quotes, and we're too frustrated that we haven't arrived at the promised land. Do you know what I mean? So now we realize that really, unless we get into a real promised land, um, we got it like the counterfeit is losing its flavor, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how long I wanted to make this, but I think I'm gonna stop here. Ish, sorry for going on for so long and long and long and long. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I realized a lot of people um are talking about, second time coming. I've been seeing a bunch of videos talking about Jesus is coming in in September on the 25th. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, guys, the father who said, kind of Jesus said, nobody knows the day or the hour. I was talking about this with a friend of mine. Yeah. And she said, actually, nobody knows the day or the hour. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's going to change. You know, Says it, Donna, the big thing. It's for us to just like work on ourselves and get it right. So, ish, yeah, man. I said what I said, and I hope it, I hope it was, I don't know, informative or interesting or something. I don't know. I don't even know. Have a good day, ne? Yes.